Hi, welcome back to another video brought to you by, you guessed it, Unity College. Are you ready? I'm not. Let's jump in. Ecological principles, applications to conservation. My original hypothesis was moss in residential areas would be healthier than moss found within a state park. My original theory was because of the canopy cover. And boy, oh boy, was that interesting. So, my study areas, study site A was residential, and site B was the Susquehanna State Park. And as you can see, if it's underlined or italicized, I found them in both. Um, so site A had common hair moss, seductive entodon moss, delicate thwidium moss, lent lilies, annual bluegrass. Site B had American holly, delicate thwidium moss, common hair moss, seductive entodon moss, annual bluegrass, Ululata moss, and an abundance of different species of trees. One was a pin oak. I find that name interesting. My methods were the residential area was 1.75 acres, so I had to make sure I had 1.75 acres out in the Susquehanna State Park. That wasn't fun to measure. So I had measured 14 moss patches at the residential site. I measured their length, their width, their height. Um, I'm telling you, but I'm not telling you that we used uh, this. And we went out there with our pen and our paper, and whatever patch we came across is what we did because they're supposed to be done at random. And then on my phone, I'm an idiot. I bought a subscription to what was called Nature ID. And what I did was it would tell me what I had found, it would tell me if it was healthy. Let's see here. So in comparison from site A to site B, in these charts, site A is green, site B is purple. Where you see the zeros, that's because I didn't have 14 of the exact species. So I did have common hair moss in both sites, but I also had delicate thwodium moss and seductive entodon moss, and a moss that sounded like a metal. I'm not even going to try and butcher the name. And so for the ones that I did have, so if I had 3 common hair moss for site A and then 6 common hair moss for site B, I would input the zeros to equal it out. I hope that makes sense to y'all. And then here's the comparison again, just on a different chart. Discussion. Obvious differences. So the canopy cover was intense, that the leaves that had fallen were thick. And there was a steady stream or a creek through the Susquehanna State Park. And everything around there was healthy. Everything. Except the holly. And I was pleasantly surprised as well as wrong. And then everything that was in the residential area, except for my lent lilies, were sick. Like, Nature ID was like, yo, I don't know what you're doing, but that's a lot of dead, sick moss. Possible reasons behind the differences that I observed could be it was less sunshine within all of the trees. And it also had a steady stream of water. maybe barely any traffic. There were definitely animal tracks out there. And why would it be unhealthy in the residential area? Well, I know for a fact that they had treated the grounds for bugs, so it could be a possible effect of insecticide. Too much sun. Moss isn't a fan of a whole bunch of sun. At least these guys weren't. And I believe that about wraps it up. I'm a little disheveled because this is about my eighth time recording because my cat is yowling here and there. So thanks for stopping by, guys. I appreciate it. All right, goodbye.